So far, my bettas have had a couple unsuccessful attempts at what is kind of weird looking if you've never seen it before, but the bettas kind of tie up, not in the same way that dogs do. The male will kind of gently wrap around the female's body in a vice grip, and she'll expel some eggs. He'll pick them up and put them up in the bubble nest. And here's what a bubble nest looks like. So if you've ever had a male betta and it started laying bubbles at the top, it's because he's following his natural instinct to create the nesting space. Well, my female at this point is like, dude, you kind of suck at this. I'm going to take a break. And he's been doing a couple little coaxing swims to try to get her back over underneath the bubble nest. But I thought I'd use this opportunity in between pairings to talk a little bit about breeding bettas. I'm by no means an expert, but this is my 5th go around with breeding, and I think I've learned a few things. So first of all, you want to keep the water a little shallow, because once she drops the eggs, he's going to have to go down and pick them up. So you don't want to make it any harder for him than you have to. Keep it bare bottom. I do add a few little things in here in terms of plants and that, just to make it less stressful. And then when the babies first hatch, you know, they can eat all the little live nibblies that we can't see, but that live on these plants. One thing you're going to notice too with the tank is that there's a lot going on in terms of humidity in here. You crank up the temperature. You want to keep it between like 80 and 82, I've found is a pretty good range. And you want to completely cover the tank. Any open areas that I have, I cover in cellophane. This was what I used to introduce the female to the male after he started making his bubble nest, because you don't want to just put her in there right away. She'll get beat up pretty bad. This allows them time to get to know each other. And yeah, it can take anywhere from, you know, pretty quickly to a couple days. They're on day 2 right now. This is pretty normal behavior with the male chasing. But you'll notice instead of nipping her, which is what usually happens early on when they're ready to mate, there's not that tail nipping. It's, hey, come back underneath this bubble nest and let's try and do our thing.